Hi, I'm Debbie. I'm here with Stand Up Humboldt, National Career News from a Humboldt point of view.
And hi, I'm Nadi with Stand Up Humboldt. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited to kind of hear about what you have going on and stuff like that. So let's start with telling me a little bit about yourself.
I work with Chad Duran, and we're starting up a new company, and it's called Out and Proud and Humboldt Productions. And it's basically queer film and queer events, local here in Humboldt.
Okay. How long have you been living in Humboldt?
15 years.
What inspired you to start this company?
15 years ago, when I came here, there was hardly anything going on in Humboldt. I couldn't find queer film, I couldn't find queer events, but since social media and all the wonderful organizations that sprouted up over the 15 years, there are so many exciting things to do, and Chad and I, we just really want to bring some more excitement to Humboldt in the queer community.
Do you have any future projects coming up?
I sure do. This November the 20th, we're going to be holding auditions at Access Humboldt. We're going to follow 2 local drag kings and 2 local drag queens through the first ever Out and Proud, Miss and Mr. Out and Proud and Humboldt Productions Drag King and Queen. That's a lot to say in one mouthful.
That's a mouthful, yeah.
So we're going to follow 2 local kings and 2 local queens through the contest, doing a documentary film. And we want to just get to know them, like who they are and everything through our film.
Okay, so people are going to come and audition, and then based off of the auditions, you'll pick 4 people,
yes.
Right? 2 queens, 2 kings,
right.
And then you're going to do a documentary about them.
Exactly.
Okay, so are you going to follow them in their day-to-day lives?
Yes, we want to get to know them. We want the community to get to know them, and who are our local queens and who are our local kings, and why do they do this, and maybe they will like to share, a little bit about their families and their daily jobs, and
So now the contest, is it just gonna be like a big drag show at the end, or is it gonna be kind of ran like other drag races where you kind of do like smaller things, smaller competitions?
It's gonna be one night, but it's gonna be like a regular pageant, like
Okay.
a regular drag king and queen pageant.
Is there gonna be a bathing suit? No.
We have discussed that. We will need to get the community input on that before the actual show.
Okay.
Because there are going to be different segments. That we do want to do a formal wear, the gown and formal wear for the king and queen. There's going to be an interview section. When we have discussed the bathing suits, well, we got to feel. I know maybe the drag queens, but I'm not so sure about what the drag kings. I don't know.
Right. Oh, that'll be interesting. So, are you going to have a panel of judges?
Yes, we are. We're going to have 4 judges, impartial judges, that will not be here when we audition for the film.
Okay. So, some of these judges maybe might be names that you don't have to reveal everything tonight, but maybe some names that we've heard around town, or some local celebrities or something.
There'll be some local people that everybody in the community knows or has heard of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting a lot of support from local businesses and stuff?
We sure are. It's just wonderful at the support that, I thought it was going to be a hassle to get sponsors. No, I mean, everybody's just on board with this project. They're really just excited about it. So we got a lot of sponsors for this already.
I think it's really great how much our community has changed. Like you said, you came 15 years ago. I've been here about 12. Yes. So, and things have changed. People are far more supportive and willing to give a little bit more and help make these big events happen and stuff like that. So I think that's really fantastic. So I hear a rumor that you guys are going to have some pretty good prizes to give away.
Oh, yes. Pretty big prizes from the local businesses that are sponsoring us for this actual contest in March.
And where is the event going to be held at?
It's going to be held at the Siren Song Tavern in Old Town, Eureka.
And what day?
March 12th. Doors is going to open at 7. Show's going to start at 8.
Okay, awesome. Is this an all ages event?
It will be. 18 and up.
18 and up. Okay, that's good. Is there going to be, have you created your Facebook event for the drag show yet, or should we anticipate that?
We have a Facebook page. It's called Out and Proud Productions, Out and Proud and Humboldt Productions.
Okay.
And it's our Facebook page. And you'll find all the information on there. Right now, you'll find posted information about the auditions here at Access Humboldt on November 20th.
It's kind of a few months out, so people have a
Yeah.
lot of opportunity to kind of think about this. And you said auditions were November
20th.
20th here at Access Humboldt.
Yes, for the documentary film.
Right, right. And then is the drag show going to be open to like more people?
The drag show is going to be open to the public.
Anybody who wants to participate?
Anybody who wants to participate.
Awesome, that's great. And then, okay, so we'll follow the 4 all the way through until the drag show, and then that'll be the grand finale. And so that's only one of the projects that you're working on, though.
Yes,
You have some other amazing ideas that I want to hear more about. Tell me about those.
All righty. Well, we got involved with this, like I said, because of the history of Humboldt, and we want to help the queer community, well, the whole community, because we have a lot of allies out there for the queer community. So we want to help people make their own films, make their own videos, edit their films, and say you take pictures on your family vacation. You post it on social media. What do you do with it after then? It's gone.
I delete it off my phone.
Delete it off your phone. It goes in the cloud and it's forgotten about.
Right.
No, we wanted to maybe you can make something, special, something that you can keep and show, to other family members. So we could help you put it together, make it your own documentary of your vacation, even with still photos.
Right.
Or video, whichever.
Okay, so like a digital scrapbook.
A digital scrapbook, thank you.
Okay, and so we can put some pictures, and you could put some audio in there too.
Oh, you can put audio. You can narrate it. You can put music to it.
Wow.
Special effects, wording, pop-up things. Whatever you be creative. Whatever your creative mind.
Okay, and for those of us who maybe aren't so creative, will you be there to help inspire us and kind of guide us along that path?
Yes, we will, and that's the fun thing about it. We love working with the community. So right now we do not have, per se, like a base location. So we're working mobile. So if you contact us through our Facebook page or through our phone numbers, we can come to you.
Oh, cool.
You can come to you, work right on your own equipment at home, say your laptop, your phone, whatever, you have.
Wow, that's amazing and super convenient because I like to work in my pajamas.
Yeah,
so I would
I do
appreciate
too.
that. Yeah. So make these digital scrapbooks, and then what about people who maybe are getting married or have these events that are going on? Is that something that you would come out and maybe help them film that? Or figure out how to make memories from the films that are there, right? So
yes, we could do both. We can actually film it ourselves, take the photos. We could set up a whole camera crew that, whatever they would like. And if they want to hire their own photographer, and after they have their films or their video, and they say, okay, maybe now we want to take some of this film and do something more creative with it. So we'll help them do that too.
Okay. Are you guys currently planning on filming any local queer events? We have a lot of local queer events that go on. We have the Tuesday queer dinner, right, that goes on. And you could, I guess, go in there and maybe talk to people and do a little interviewing there. Chad's come down to Pride and did some coming out stories. That was lots of fun to have him there. But what about other events? There's a lot of queer vibes, and then there's Club Triangle. And do you guys have plans to kind of get out in the community and capture what's going on?
Exactly, we do, and we're like we're saying, we're just taking off, and we have a lot of big plans to do that. And once we get this documentary film going with the 4 contestants that we're going to choose for the audition, we will be following them through the local events that they perform at, and maybe the clubs that they go to, the dinners that they go to. What do they do daily? And then we'll be talking to other people there too.
Right. It's kind of interesting. I think sometimes people have this impression about the queer community that we're or the drag kings or queens that I don't know. Maybe they wear their wigs to bed every night. I don't know what people think sometimes, but I think people get lost in the character and forget that there's kind of, that human behind it. They get fixated on the character.
Right. Well, that's just like with any celebrity. I mean, we're their fans. You
Right.
know, Humboldt County is their fans. So, yeah, it's sometimes when we're seeing them out in the clubs or in the Pride Parade or what have you, we're like, oh, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous. But who are they?
Right.
Some people might not think about that. They might think that they do wear their makeup and their wigs all the time,
Right.
24/7.
I have a huge disconnect. Fuchsia Ray, who's one of my favorite queens, also known as Josh. I've actually been sitting next to Fuchsia and texting Josh like questions, and he's like, I'm sitting right here, and I'm like, oh, I forget you're like the same person, you know? Because we get caught up in the characters. Do you have some favorite local kings and queens?
You know, it's funny that you asked, well, you were commenting about not knowing people. I knew Chad years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago at Auntie Mo's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was years ago.
He was in drag. And I never knew him as Chad Duran.
Oh.
And I met him at the Queer Bill's Tuesday dinner a few months ago. And I just met him and I thought he was a cool guy. And I was like, oh, and then we got to talking and I was like, he showed me a picture of him in drag and I was like, I know you.
It's funny what people look like when they don't have makeup on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit. So you came here 15 years ago. What do you love about Humboldt County?
Everything. I love everything about it. I love the nature. I love all the natural beauty that we have here. I love the ocean. I think I was probably a dolphin or a whale or something. Well, probably a whale, but but I don't know. I just love this area. I came here and one thing that caught my attention when I first came here on a camping trip and I stayed up at Patrick's Point, and I just loved the first person. I don't know if I can say her name, and I should say her name, but I'm just gonna say it. You can edit out if I can't say it. Sue Forbes. First person I met in Trinidad, sitting on a bench, and she said to me, she goes, "Do you live here?" And I said, "No, I'm on a camping trip here, and I was thinking about moving here because this is such a wonderful, beautiful place."
Right.
And she says, "Come join us." I took that as an open invitation, and I did. Just 1 month later, I quit my job and moved up here.
That's amazing. And now you have this production company that you're running that kind of says, come join us,
Come
right?
join us. Come
So
join us here in Humboldt.
yeah, it's really great that you're extending the hand that you were given. I think that's one of my favorite things about Humboldt County is that the people here are so friendly. So remind us again real quickly about the dates. We have auditions on November
20th.
Okay, and people can find information based off the Facebook page.
On our Facebook page.
And then we're planning a drag show on
March 12th.
March 12th at.
Siren Songs Tavern in Eureka.
Okay. Is there any other little tidbits of information you want to remind people?
Yes. Well, just keep watching our Facebook page because you're going to see events, coming up in between now and March and between the audition and in March contest. We're going to have other little small events.
Okay, awesome. And hopefully post some examples of like the digital scrapbooking or the what you can do with photos and stuff like that. So maybe people will be inspired to contact you.
Well, I have some video on there already. I love my dog. I have a little Boston Terrier named Coco. I'm sure everybody around here has seen my little dog Coco.
Right.
And she's starring in some of my films right now. So
great.
You can find that on our Facebook page.
Okay, so Facebook is an amazing thing and a great way to reach out to people and find out what's going on in Humboldt. I'm really thankful for Facebook, that's for sure. It's changed my life in a lot of different ways. So I will start stalking you on Facebook.
And YouTube.
And
I'm on YouTube.
Okay, awesome.
Our production, our Out and Proud and Humboldt Productions is on YouTube.
Okay, great. So we can find you on Facebook and we can find you on YouTube and we'll follow you around and see what kind of stuff that you guys are up to around here. I'm excited for you and see what happens and see how this grows. And Lord knows we need more queer events. So there's never enough queer in Humboldt, that's for sure.
Never too many.
Yeah, so, well, thank you so much for coming out today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you and getting to know a little bit about you. We've been in passing in the community, and I know we're friends on Facebook and stuff like that. And this is kind of the first time we've ever had a real sit-down conversation.
So
it's
I love it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and maybe after the drag show's all done, we'll have you back, and you guys can talk more about the drag show.
Oh, yes.
That would be great. I'd love to hear.
I love it. Yes.
Oh, I'll be there. Like, don't worry. I'm going to be there because I can't miss a good drag show.
I hope everybody in the community will come out and
support.
Support.
Yeah, it's important. That's if queers need anything, we need lots of support. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So without everybody's support, we wouldn't be where we are today. Did you go to Humboldt Pride?
Yes, I did.
Did you have fun?
I volunteered. I marched in the parade. I marched holding the banner for the P flag.
Oh, another great organization. Say hi to Linda Shapiro.
Oh,
We love
yes.
her.
And I volunteered for Humboldt Pride. I worked in the welcome booth
Nice.
and sold a lot of booze tickets.
Well, we appreciate that. You know, it was important. That was probably our biggest fundraiser at Humboldt Pride. Do you have any other local people that are really inspiring to you around here? Like I mentioned Linda Shapiro because I love her. Anybody else for you?
You know, years ago, like I said, I didn't know anybody, and the old Humboldt Pride, the parade that was in Arcata, I remember, I could never say, starts with a P, Pawalot.
I don't know.
Oh Lord, he's gonna say, he's probably gonna watch this and he's gonna say.
We're going to get an email about this. Totally
right,
okay.
Totally. But anyway, after the parade in Arcata, it was very small back then, very small. This has grown over the years on the things. But we were sitting in the Alibi, and we were talking, everybody was talking about the parade and, you know, how sorry but disappointing it was. And so I overheard him sitting at a table next to me, and he goes, yeah, this parade just sucked. And I was like, well, if you can do any better.
Right?
He goes, I can, I'm a promoter. He goes, if you can set it up with these people, he goes, I will be glad. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I will. And so actually the new era of the Humboldt Pride started in the Alibi with him, and in the backyard of Debbie Sendejas. We had the first new movement of the Humboldt Pride in her backyard. So
wow.
I say that because it's really good to be on the ground floor of trying to make something happen. You know. Right.
And it's a big responsibility and a lot of hard work. I don't think people sometimes they show up at an event and think that, oh, like we just throw a party and we have a great time. That takes a lot of work, promoting and getting sponsors and, you know, prizes and stuff like that, and rounding up performers. I mean, I say my volunteer position is my most worked position, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We work really hard for our community, and I appreciate all the hard work you're doing for our community.
Yes, I'm very happy to, you know, do this for the community. I'm really doing it just for the community, to help the queer community. I know how it felt for me to not have anywhere to go or know anybody to ask where to go and, you know, what events are there. And it was really just word of mouth back then before Facebook and Twitter and all the other social media just took off, you know? Right.
You hear two people sitting at a table talking and you start eavesdropping. Like, what are they up to over there?
My first event was, I was in a laundromat.
You went to an event in a laundromat?
No. Well, the first one I heard of was in a laundromat.
Okay.
I was folding my laundry and I heard two lesbians talking, and I was like, yes.
Right.
So, yeah, it was really, that's how it was back then.
Right.
So,
and I think that's how it's been for years, you know, that it's kind of been secretive and underground, and now, you know, with the legalization and all these amazing things that are going on, you know, we can be out and proud, you know, and that's really important that we can, you know, advertise big events and do all these drag shows and with no real concerns about it either. I mean, I feel like they're fun, and, you know, I feel like we don't get too much flack around here. I think the whole community is just, as a whole, so supportive.
I think because of all the events that started happening here, and maybe, you know, with the new movement and everything, that it got to be that way. I remember 15 years ago that you did stay, you know, closeted a little. You know, there was a lot of us, the younger folks, I have to say, you know, thank God we have Humboldt State University here. Right. You know, because we have all the young queer community. And that helped a lot, you know, with, you know, getting things going. And I'm just thankful that, you know, that this started and the grassroots started, and now we got more events. Like every day there's something going on. Right. I mean, tonight there's several. What do you choose from?
Right.
You know?
Right. It is great to kind of, and if you can't make it to an event because you have other obligations. Yeah. You don't have to wait 6 months for something, you know. I remember a lot of people, you know, saying, God, I wish Pride happened more than once a year, you know, and it was like, oh, well, that would be great, but it's a lot of work that's going on and stuff like that too. So we can't do Pride more than once a year. But there's other events that we can do now. I mean, we have Club Triangle and Queer Vibes that's going on and stuff like that. So it's great that we have choices. And way more stuff for the youth than we used to.
Yes.
You know, a lot of the younger kids are doing their own events and stuff like that. And so that's, you know, great. And
I envy them, to be honest with you.
right, right, because they kind of have it easy compared to, you know, probably what you experienced growing up and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, well, with the marriage equality, you know, just happening, so it's changed a lot of things. I think we can be more out and proud in our community now and than we ever was. I know when I was first came here, I didn't know what to expect. I thought this was a redneck community. I was met with a lot of prejudice and, you know, bigotry and stuff, but now I wear it out and proud.
Right.
I'm out and proud in Humboldt.
Yeah, yeah, you can walk down the street and wave at people and say hi, and, you know, you have rainbow bumper stickers on your car, and
Not afraid to hold your partner's hand in public.
right.
You know, kiss in a park or whatever you want to do. You
Right,
know?
right. I think that's just an amazing thing about living here in Humboldt. I mean, when I moved here, that was one of the things I appreciated the most, is that even though maybe there was a little bit of prejudice, it wasn't like where I came from. You know, it was still very different here, and people still had open arms, and, you know, I think we're trying to progress more rapidly here than I was seeing in a lot of other places. You know, it's different here.
Well, I know what you mean by that. I mean, where you come from brings up a point with me. I come from the South. You know, I'm talking Georgia. I know, I grew up there, and no, you were not queer.
Right.
You know, you just did not dare be. And I moved out to California in 1989. Lived in the Sacramento area, which was great because they had a lot of things going on in the Sacramento area. But you know, it was the big city, and they had a lot of events and everything. But coming here to Humboldt, I'm so glad to see that we can just stand up and be just as proud as any other big city.
Right, right, yeah.
We're not a big city, but we have as much pride as a big city.
Oh, I think so too. If not, sometimes I think maybe even a little more, because we're pretty close up here. We're a pretty close-knit community and very family friendly. I mean, I feel like when I go out to a queer event, I feel like it's more like a family reunion than anything, you know?
It is. Oh my gosh, yes it is. I mean, I'm just 15 years ago when I didn't know anybody, everybody knows everybody in the community.
Right, right.
And I know everybody. If I have not met them in person, I know about them.
Right.
You know, I do.
Yeah, which is great, because when you're doing big projects like this, it's nice to, you can go, oh, I know so-and-so. Like, let's call them and see if they have an idea or if they can help us do something, you know, and that's another great thing about our community, is that we network really well, and we really depend and support each other in so many different ways, you know.
That's been happening with us. I mean, Chad and I have just sounded off, you know, with other people, like, what do you think about this? How do you think this is going to go over with the queer community, you know? And we're getting a lot of good feedback with that.
Yeah, everybody's got a supportive opinion, I hope.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, and
all
it's
positive things.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's nice to bounce your ideas off of somebody and you know, ask them, well, you know, do you want to help? And then people go, oh, this is great. I want to help, right? You start off as a sounding board, and then pretty soon they're on board with you.
We're needing volunteers, and as a matter of fact, we could use some volunteers for our contest coming up in March.
Okay, so if people want to volunteer, they should
contact us.
Yeah, definitely check out the Facebook page. Send you guys a message that they're interested in volunteering with you. Volunteering is one of my most rewarding positions, and I just absolutely love giving back to the community, and it's a great way to meet people. Like, people wonder sometimes how to get involved in stuff, and I always say volunteer. It's a great way to make friends, and then next time you're out in the community and I see you again and I go, oh, I remember you. We volunteered together at Pride, right? And you go, yeah, and then it starts the conversation all over again.
It is that is so true. I mean, this is the first year that I actually volunteered for Humboldt Pride since 15 years ago.
Right.
Well, 12 years ago, I would say. And it was just a wonderful experience. And I was telling one of the members of the Pride Board, I said, all the years I sat on the sidelines watching the parade go by, This year, I was the parade.
Right, right.
I was a part of the parade, and it was wonderful. It felt good, and to volunteer and give back. And then I did, working with at the welcome booth, the Pride welcome booth. I met so many people I haven't seen in years.
Right.
Come on, hey, aren't you Debbie Doyle? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's.
Otherwise, I am known as Spanky, and so that's how they know. Hey, you're Spanky Doyle, aren't you? Yeah.
It's great how we all get coined with these little nicknames, and they just stick over the years.
And it's back again because I went back to my old nickname and I got recognized. And the eatery yesterday, having lunch with a friend,
Right.
they were like, they overheard me talking to my friend about Out and Proud and Humboldt Productions, and they looked at, they go, "You're Spanky." And I said, "Yes." And I was like, "Do I know you?" And I was like, "No, we saw your webpage. We like your webpage." And I was
Awesome.
like, "Awesome, yes."
All right. Well, we got to wrap up this interview. And again, thanks for joining me today. And I hope everybody will check out your Facebook page, check out your YouTube videos, and get in touch with you about volunteering.
Yes, please do. And if you're a king or queen, please come to our auditions on November 20th right here at Access Humboldt.
Thanks again, everybody, for joining us for Stand Up in Humboldt.